What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Box in the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I just want to take a flashback moment to visit a fight that is very memorable to me. This fight took place in 1984. I was in school at the time. And I remember Livingston Bramble, when he became the WBA lightweight champion of the world. He faced then WBA lightweight champion Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Now, Ray Boom Boom Mancini had a father by the name of Lenny Boom Boom Mancini back in the 30s. And he was ranked number 1, but he couldn't get a title shot because of the war. And when he came back from the war, he was still ranked number 1. But he injured himself. And he couldn't fight anymore. Lost an arm. So Ray Boom Boom Mancini wanted to win the title on behalf of his father's name. And that took hold with me because the relationship I have with my father. My father has now passed. Think I'm out of every day. But that was a choking moment. So I was rooting for Boom Boom Mancini. In that particular fight in 1984, I remember I was in a store called Bloomingdale's. It was a big department store. And I was downstairs in the electronic department where they had all the TVs. And all of the men that were down there, they didn't want to go shopping with their wife, would be down there watching the football game or whatever was on at the time. But they had boxing on. And boxing came before everything in those days. All the TVs had boxing on. And the one fight that was on that day was Livingston Bramble and Ray Boom Boom Mancini. And I was for sure that Boom Boom Mancini would win the fight because I hadn't really heard. I've seen Livingston Bramble a few times before that, but I knew more about Ray Boom Boom Mancini. He had fought Alexis Arguello. Unfortunately, he knocked out Kim and died later on that day from that fight in the ring. But I didn't know too much about Livingston Bramble at that particular time. But I did know that Livingston Bramble was a stablemate of Frankie Warren, Harold Warren, Johnny Bumpus, Bump City, Tony Ayala, Alex Ramos, many of the main event fighters from Lou Duva's stable. So I gave him a shot. But boy, I'll tell you, the beating he gave Boom Boom Mancini was a thing to behold. Blood everywhere, and this was on national television. I think it was CBS Sports. Fascinating fight. So I just want to pay a little homage to Livingston Bramble. I don't see him a lot on these networks, YouTube. So it's befitting that I give him his props. Fascinating fighter. Razai Livingston Bramble. Here you have Bramble, WBA lightweight champion. And here you have Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Mancini was a fascinating fighter in those days. Out of Ohio. Bramble was out of Jamaica. It was an outstanding fight. They had 2 fights. Bramble won them both. Let's take a look at the highlight. This is the highlight of that fight. You see Razai Bramble, Livingston Bramble on the right, Mancini on the left. It was a fascinating fight. Mancini showed a lot of heart in that fight. Like I said, he was fighting on behalf of his father. And like I told you about a fight yesterday when I did the George Foreman tribute, Buster Douglas when he fought Mike Tyson. Sometimes when you're fighting on behalf of a loved one, it gives you more energy and more inspiration to carry yourself in a way of dignity because of your family name or the name of your loved one. And this was one of those moments. It was an outstanding fight. And I just wanted to reflect on that fight. It was a memory that I will not forget. Like I said, I was in school. And I remember that fight in the department store. Didn't even know the fight was on. Just ran into it. But then Bramble would lose the fight to Edwin El Chapo Rosario. Get knocked out in the second round. And at that time, Rosario had lost a controversial decision to Hector Macho Camacho on Madison Square Garden. I was at that particular fight. That was one of the best cards in Madison Square Garden. You got Mike Tyson, Reggie Gross. That was an outstanding heavyweight fight. Then you had Julio Cesar Chavez and Juan Laporte. That was an outstanding fight. You had a few undercards on that particular fight card as well. But I just wanted to give a little tribute to Razak Bramble, Livingston Bramble. So I'm going to ask my subscribers if they feel as though I should place Livingston Bramble in my museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. All I need is 2 yeses or 2 nos. 2 no's means he will not get in. 2 yeses means he will get in. And while we're on the subject, you can give me that answer for Ray Boom Boom Mancini as well. 2 yeses, he gets in. 2 no's, he does not get in. Thanks for your time. This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Salute to all my subscribers. And salute to these dynamite fighters. Peace.